Imagine a world where we didn't know why things fall, how planets move, or even how to calculate changes over time. Sound chaotic, doesn't it? Well, when man changed all of that, Isaac Newton. His discoveries did not just answer questions, they transformed the way we understand our universe. Welcome back to MG. If you love traveling through time to meet the most brilliant minds in history, you are in the right place. Yesterday we explored the life of Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra. If you haven't watched that video yet, be sure to check it out. Today, we are stepping into the 17th century to uncover the history of man who discovered, reshaped physics and mathematics. Let's dive into the incredible life and work of Isaac Newton. Before Isaac Newton, people understood the world through fragmented knowledge. There were ideas about motion, gravity, and mathematics, but they lacked connection. Newton would be the one to unite these pieces and create a frame that explained the universe itself. Born in 1643 in Worcester, England, Newton grew up with a mind full of curiosity. During his most productive year, the Great Plague of London forced him to leave Cambridge University and work from home. What could have been a time of isolation became one of the most creative periods in scientific history. One day, Isaac Newton was sitting in his family garden when he saw an apple fall from a tree. This was something everyone had seen before, but Newton asked a question no one else had thought of. Why does the apple fall straight down? Why does not it go sideways or upwards? That simple question led to a big idea, the law of gravity. Newton realized that the same force pulled the apple to the ground also work on much bigger things like the moon and planets. He worked hard to figure out this force work. Newton discovered that every object in the universe pulls on every other object. How strong this pull is depends on two things, the size of object and how far apart they are. Before Newton, people believed that Earth and heaven follow different rules. Newton showed that the same rules applied everywhere, whether it is falling apple or a planet orbiting the sun. This was a huge discovery that changed science forever. Even today, we use Newton's law of gravity. It helps us send rockets to space, launch satellites, and understand how planets move. And it all started with one man asking a simple question while sitting under a tree. He didn't stop at discovering gravity. He also wanted to understand how things move. To explain this, he came up with three simple but powerful rules, known as law of motion, which are still taught in school today. The first law: if something is still, it will stay still. If something moves, it will keep moving in the same direction unless something else makes it to stop or change it. The second law: if push something, how fast it moves depends on two things, how hard you push and how heavy the object is, which means force equals mass times acceleration. So the heavier an object is, the harder you need to push to make it move. The third law: for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This means if you push against something, it pushes back with the same amount of force. For example, When you jump off the ground pushes you up at the same time. These three laws explain so much how about the world around us. They help us understand how cars move, how planets fly, and even how rockets launch into the space. Engineers and scientists use them every day to design machines and solve problems. While working on gravity and motion, he realized that the math of his time was not enough to solve the problems he faced, so he created something new, calculus. This new branch of math allowed him to calculate changes like speed and motion in ways that were not possible before. Today, calculus is used in almost every field: engineering, science, medicine, and even economics. From designing machines to predicting weather, his invention continued to shape the modern world. On the other hand, he exploded with light using a simple glass prism. He showed something amazing. White light is not just one color. It's made up of many colors like a rainbow. Newton's discoveries were not just theories, they were tools for understanding the universal. His work laid the foundation for Industrial Revolution, which transformed how we live and work. Even today, Newton's ideas inspire scientists, engineers, and thinkers to push the boundaries of knowledge. For example, when NASA calculates the trajectory of a spacecraft, they use Newton's law. When architects design earthquake-resistant buildings, they applied his principle of motion and force. Before Isaac Newton, there were other great minds who helped make his discovery possible. One of them was Al-Khwarizmi, known as father of algebra. Al-Khwarizmi's work in mathematics provided the tools that Newton and other scientists later used. Without Al-Khwarizmi early ideas, many of the discoveries we are talking about today might not have been happening. This shows us something important. Knowledge does not come from one person alone. If you have not watched our video about Al-Khwarizmi, make sure to check it out and see how the greatest mindsets in history are connected. If you love traveling through time to meet incredible mindsets like Newton and other scholars, subscribe to our channel. We will explore the histories that shape our world. See you in the next video.